New fallout from the U.S. capture of now ousted Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro.
Right now, he and his wife are being held at a detention center in New York City. The former leader said, quote, "I was captured," as he pled not guilty to federal drug trafficking charges yesterday. Now, he and his wife are due back in court March 17th.
Opposition leader and Nobel Peace Prize winner Maria Corina Machado is slamming Venezuela's acting president. Maduro loyalist Delcy Rodriguez was sworn in as acting interim president yesterday. Machado calls her, quote, "one of the main architects of torture, corruption, and narco trafficking in Venezuela." And right now, major oil companies are set to meet with the Trump administration later this week. Sources tell CBS News that representatives from Chevron, ConocoPhillips, and ExxonMobil will sit down with Energy Secretary Chris Wright on Thursday. Now, this comes as President Trump pushes United States oil companies to invest in Venezuela's oil industry. President Trump's decision to carry out this raid is under the microscope. His administration defending the move, however, while reaction across the globe remains split. Jacqueline Quinn is live outside of the Kennedy Center, where the president will meet with some of the lawmakers in just a few hours. Jackie, good morning.
Yeah, today's meeting is going to be with key GOP leaders, but members of Congress have been calling for a vote on the war power resolution. But again, the focus today will be here as the president meets with key GOP leaders here at the Kennedy Center. While Nicolas Maduro and his wife pleaded not guilty Monday in New York, protests outside the Cuban embassy in D.C. highlighted opposition to the U.S. operation, which left more than 80 people dead, including Cuban nationals.
It's not a partisan issue, and it's not just a stay out of Venezuela issue. It's a stay out of everywhere issue. We don't need these endless wars.
However, some support the U.S. involvement.
We have a little bit of light at the end of that tunnel, and we are now in a position where we can have the step towards a transition back to democracy.
Lawmakers are now debating the lack of congressional approval, but the Trump administration calls the raid legal and necessary.
The United States arrested a narco trafficker who is now going to stand trial in the United States in accordance with the rule of law.
We're dealing with the people that just got sworn in, and don't ask me who's in charge, because I'll give you an answer and it'll be very controversial.
What does that mean?
It means we're in charge.
The acting president for Venezuela, Delcy Rodriguez, a Maduro loyalist, says she'll work with Trump, but has condemned Maduro's capture. Now, I mentioned that today the president will be meeting with key GOP leaders, but the top members of Congress from both parties were briefed yesterday from key intelligence committees. And today, though, however, the focus will turn here to what happens at the Kennedy Center as the president holds this meeting. For now, I'll send it back to you guys.
Jackie Quinn at the Kennedy Center. Thank you. A new Washington Post poll, meantime, finds that Americans are nearly split over the U.S. military operation that captured Maduro. The Post surveyed more than 1,000 people. About 4 in 10 approve of sending forces. A similar number disapprove, though, and nearly 1 in 5 are unsure. Over 6 in 10 Americans say an operation like this should have required congressional approval.